Hello everyone and welcome to today's video blog from Fortuna Admissions. I'm Caroline Diarte Edwards. I'm a director at Fortuna and I was formerly head of admissions at INSEAD. I'm joined today by my colleague Nonie Mackie, who is a colleague of mine at INSEAD, and she coached MBA and EMBA students on how to achieve their career goals. So the topic we wanted to discuss today is how a candidate can best prepare their job search. What can you do before going off to business school to prepare your job search and be in a position to really hit the ground running with your job search once you get to campus. So Nonie, what are your thoughts on how a candidate or how someone who's been admitted to business school can start planning their job search?
Okay, great question, Caroline. And I think planning is the key word here. So it's really important before to MBA school that you do have a well thought out plan. And obviously you'll have given a lot of thought to this during the application process when you're thinking about what your short and long-term career goals are. But it's always good to go back to these goals and make sure that they're still aligned with your core values and your passions and your desires in terms of what you want to do post MBA and then longer term 10 plus years out. So planning is critical here. So making sure that you have a really well articulated and targeted short-term plan, so your plan A, if you like, and also a backup plan. Plans don't always go to plan, so it's good to have a backup plan B. If things don't work out when you get to MBA school, or in fact, which we've seen a lot once students are at school, their plans change, become influenced by others. The MBA program sheds light on new areas which are of key interest to them, and they might become very excited about strategy and consulting, and so their career plan might totally change direction. So planning is really important. Good to have a plan A, plan B, and making sure that you're constantly going back, looking at that, making sure it's a visible plan, something that you're constantly referring back to, and that it's well articulated. Yeah,
great. And what about networking? Is that something that admits should be engaging in before they go to business school? And if so, how can they do that effectively?
Yeah, absolutely. Networking is essential in any job search, and certainly the sooner you can start this, the better. I would highly recommend reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and particularly undertaking a similar career path what you're aiming towards. So contact people on LinkedIn, reach out to them, try and do interviews, reach out to alumni also of the school, that your chosen school, and ask them for their tips and advice on how they approach their job search, what they struggled with, what the challenges were, and how they found the on-campus recruitment experience. I would also highly recommend going to events, sector events, industry events, really building your knowledge so that you become a subject matter expert in a particular sector or in a particular functional expertise. Try and attend conferences if you can, and network also with people within your own company. It's important not to forget about the company that you're currently working with, and the wealth of information and knowledge that will be within your current company. So try and network and build your brand within your own company, within your sector. So this network is already well defined before coming to MBA school.
Great. And what about the CV or the resume? Because most candidates will have worked on that as part of the application process, so they will likely have a CV that's in pretty good shape. Is it worth revisiting that before going to business school or not?
Yeah, absolutely. So making sure that the CV is up to date. You may have done a new project, you may have got a promotion, acquired some new skills since writing your CV for MBA schools. So absolutely make sure, go back and check that it is really up to date. But also start thinking about targeted resumes. So how can you target your resume for a specific job, a specific sector, or a particular functional expertise that is your chosen field. It's really important that when you send out your resume to a company that it is targeted, it's not generic. So perhaps in advance start looking at job descriptions of particular jobs that you might be interested in, and you can get these on LinkedIn or other websites, company websites, and have a look at what skills are they requiring, what are the essential skills, what are the nice to have skills, and make sure that you are leveraging these skills in your resume, making sure that also that you bear in mind once you're at MBA school that you're adding the newly acquired information, newly acquired skills and perhaps expertise that you've developed onto your resume. So again, these are things that you can leverage and show and really demonstrate to a company that you can bring with you into a new role that you might be taking on.
Yeah. Okay. And what about a future MBA student who is planning to take some time off? So, you know, if they're leaving the full-time job a few months ahead of starting at business school, do you have any advice on, you know, how they could use that time to help prepare the job search?
Yeah, that's really valuable time, definitely to engage with companies, building your network, but where possible to try and do an internship. And internships are sadly not always paid, but I think that's something, a sacrifice that you need to make, do some pro bono work, some volunteer work. Again, in order to develop your network, to develop a particular expertise, it might be to work in a sector that you've never worked in, but that will be really valuable experience that you can add to your resume and really show future employers that you are genuinely passionate about getting into retail or getting into pharmaceuticals. And you can show this through the fact that you've done an internship. It might be very basic work, you might be shadowing someone, but that's still incredibly valuable experience that you can share with a future employer. And I really do think it does genuinely show your enthusiasm, your passion, your determination to break into something which is new.
Great. Nonie, any final advice for candidates who are planning to head to business school and thinking about, you know, what they can do to be really effective in their job search, especially for someone going to school like, you know, INSEAD, which is a very intense and you know, one-year program, goes very quickly. So any other thoughts about what they can do to prepare?
I think networking is probably my top tip.
Right.
Just really trying to develop your network as much as you can. Try and engage with other participants in the program in advance so that you know and can start to get to know some of your peers. Do your research on your professors, so when it comes to choosing your electives, that you're really knowledgeable about what courses on offer and what their background is and how that might be able to help you with your job search. And I guess remain authentic. So don't try and be someone that you're not. Try and be really authentic in your approach with networking, with informational interviews, with forming relationships with those people that you're going to be meeting at MBA school. I think having that authenticity and being true to yourself is very important and will help you to remain calm and to keep the determination and the grit going, and to keep you focused as well throughout the challenging MBA program.
Great, very wise words. Thank you so much, Nonie. And thank you to our audience today. And please connect with us on our website, fortuna.com.